Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. So today we're going to be taking a quick look at the heads that came out of the S4. Just give them a quick rundown and inspection, see if there's anything that needs to be replaced. All right, let's take a look. So for those of you who haven't seen the other videos, the reason we're getting so deep into the heads here is because I threw a rod in my S4 engine and caused damage like this. So we're taking the look into the heads just to make sure everything looks all right. And again, see if anything needs to be replaced in here. All right, so just to give y'all a quick rundown of what we got going on here. On the right side, we have a tray filled with oil. We're gonna use that to put the cam buckets in. In the middle, of course, we have the heads with the cams removed and some stray pistons off to the right side over there. And looking over here to the left, we have our valve spring compressor tool that we're going to use to remove the valves, of course. And to the left of that, we also have the magnet we're going to use to remove the buckets out of the heads. Let's get started. So the first thing we'll do here is go ahead and take our magnet and we'll dip it in the oil here just to get some lubrication. And the reason we do this is so that we make sure we don't cause any damage to these buckets here. And we'll go ahead and attach and pull out. And we'll keep the buckets in the oil here. So that way, again, we just don't cause any damage. So that was quick and pretty drama-free, which is nice. So as you can see here, all the valve buckets look fine. So we'll move on to removing the valve keepers from the heads so we can pull the valves out. So to pull the valve keepers, we're going to be using this valve spring compressor tool here, this block of wood, and this small magnet we have back here. I'm going to get this all set up and just give you guys a quick walkthrough through the setups to see what we're working with here. So just to give you an idea of what we got going on here, we have this cup which we have attached here, and what that does is hold the valve spring retainer. We then on the back of the tool have this screw here which we'll go ahead and tighten, and while we're tightening that, what happens is that cup keeps pushing on the spring on the other side, which will allow us access to the valve keepers, so then we could actually go ahead and remove the valves. So once we've got this cut far enough and it compresses the spring enough, we should be able to reach in here with this magnet and pull the valve retainers out. There's one side. And then here's the other. All right, so that's one down, 14 more to go. And once we're done with these, we finally get to take a look at the valves and the springs. So that really sucked. Because of how small the mechanism is for the intake valves, it was hard to get in there with the magnet after the tool was in and compressing the spring. So that took forever. And of course, there is more intake valves than there is exhaust valves, because why not? But as you can see here, a lot of the spring retainers have already fallen out, as well as the springs. So we'll just continue doing that, get them all out, and then we'll move on to pulling the valves out on the other side. Okay, so now onto the fun part. Let's pull these valves out, see how they look. So, I mean, not bad, pretty gross. Seems like we got some oil on there, but let's pull the rest out. They're all still okay. Not looking too bad. Still not bad, all of them looking pretty straight. No crazy damage so far on any of them. All right, so we got a winner. That is at a wild angle. So I'm guessing this is one of the valves that hit the piston that I showed you guys earlier. Probably made contact here. And that got destroyed. So that's an intake valve that needs to be replaced. If not, the whole set of intake valves replaced. And again, this one looks pretty straight. I'm guessing this is the other one that hit. Might be a slight angle to that one. We'll get them all checked out in a bit. Okay, so we're just about done here. The last thing we need to do to get these heads fully disassembled is pull the valve stem seals, which honestly might be the easiest thing I've done all day with the way all this is going on. So what we'll need is a pair of needle nose pliers. There's a special tool for this, but since we won't be keeping the seals, we're just gonna replace them. It doesn't matter if we damage them or not. So we'll reach in here, squeeze, pull, and we'll grab the seal. Or part of the seal. So there it is. Yeah, I pull a little harder and I grabbed onto the edge, and that's why I pulled just the rubber part off the top. But we'll pull the rest of these off. See you guys in a sec. That's the last one there. And with that, we're done disassembling the heads. We were able to get a lot done today, from pulling out these cam buckets all the way to pulling out the rest of these valve train components, the springs, the valves, the retainers, and even this wild looking intake valve. So our next steps here are to get these heads sent over to a machine shop so they can get cleaned, but most importantly, get them checked so that way we can start reassembling. Thank you guys for joining me today. Hope you liked the video. If you did, please hit that like button. If you loved it, please subscribe. See you guys in the next one. Thank you. Hey man.
You're interrupting my game. What do you want?
Hey, I'm sorry. I know you're at the game, and say sorry to Jade for interrupting, but I got to show you something. It's so wild.
What's up?
All right, I'm turning the camera over. Look at this.